The marine mystery in the Florida Keys is now spreading as more sawfish are reported dead this week and more species of other fish are seen spinning and acting strange.
And so far, scientists are ruling out red tide, low oxygen, disease, pH, and salt levels as the trigger, but they still don't know what's causing this. We have the update in tonight's Don't Trash Our Treasure.
Our sawfish continue to die right before our eyes.
There's nothing I could have done to, help it or drag it in, or you just kind of sat there and just kind of like watched it. Hard to see, and it's definitely heartbreaking.
Tim Friend and Ashley Fermanik were in Key West Tuesday visiting from Massachusetts when they came across what's now become a painfully prevalent sight.
It was kind of very sad to see him, just struggling. And
another critically endangered smalltooth sawfish suffering in the shallows, this time at Fort Zachary Taylor Beach.
It seemed like several people on the beach were they wanted to go and grab it and put it back in the ocean, but the conservation didn't allow them to.
On Monday, NOAA launched an unprecedented emergency response, engaging partners like FWC to try and rescue sawfish found in distress. Officers could be seen in the water trying to help the massive animal. Sadly, it would not survive. FWC confirming it was a female, and now the 32nd smalltooth sawfish reported dead since January, the 4th this week alone.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
With more than 100 witness accounts of others seen swimming erratically, beaching themselves,
what the hell?
Thrashing about in shallow waters, from the Everglades to Key West, and now all the way north to the Boynton Beach Inlet.
Wow. I'm gonna look that up.
Lower Keys native Greg Furstenworth found this one struggling in Boca Chica Easter Sunday.
And to see one like that was just that distressed was incredibly depressing to watch, honestly.
For almost 2 months, Furstenworth says he's documented more than 70 different species of fish acting bizarrely near shore in the Lower Keys.
There's not one day that I go out that I do not see them spinning or in some way distressed.
Now some are turning up dead.
We just ran across a good amount of dead sharks.
Since October, researchers have been out sampling the waters of the Lower Keys, believed to be ground zero for the devastating event. Still, there's no smoking gun.
We don't really know. Again, this is something we have not documented before, so we have not seen this.
What scientists are seeing are elevated levels of Gambierdiscus, a benthic microalgae linked to Ciguatera that lives on seaweeds.
They were anywhere from 5 times higher to about 30 times above averages that we've seen over the past 10 years or so.
But are the levels of toxic Gambierdiscus high enough to cause this? The experts still stumped.
We're not sure. We can't get to cause and effect yet. But we have detected those toxins in the tissues of a number of the reef-associated fish.
We know there's Gambierdiscus in this environment, so it's not really a surprise.
Lower Keys resident Dr. Brian LaPointe is a research professor at FAU's Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute. We joined him out on Pine Channel to sample the proliferation of macroalgae he's been documenting here since the late 80s.
But it's everywhere. It's everywhere here, and that's what Gambierdiscus can live on. That's the host organism in these waters.
Dr. LaPointe says the problem is increasing nutrients in the water column, pollution fueled by human waste and fertilizers, nitrogen bombs that for decades have spewed into the watershed, acting as rocket fuel for these blooms.
This is runoff from our watershed. Year by year by year, as we get cumulative buildup of nutrients from wastewater, some of these nutrients are coming from the mainland, coming out of the Everglades.
And until we stop these nutrients at the source, LaPointe fears what's happening now may be setting a dangerous precedent.
If we ignore cleaning up our watershed going all the way north, then it's going to just continue to get worse and worse.
Truly breaks your heart, and there really is no end in sight for this, but scientists are hopeful that the summer, believe it or not, might bring some relief. Gambierdiscus does not do well in warm water, and those levels may go down when those ocean temps go up, if this is, after all, what's really causing this. So far, no reports of humans getting sick. We reached out to the Florida Department of Health. We have their statement and so much more on this in our web story. Just scan that QR code. It'll take you straight to the Don't Trash Our Treasure page on local10.com.